Hello and welcome to today's web news, with our pick of the stories making the online headlines. Coming up on today's show, Gaza's children draw their hopes for the future. A Chinese HIV positive boy's story moves local net users. And Dude Perfect members show off their pool skills. UNICEF aimed to help Palestinian children overcome the trauma inflicted by the bloody conflict which has raged between Hamas and Israel for the last 50 years in the Gaza Strip by asking them to produce drawings depicting their hopes for the future. The sketches are presented to net users in a series of images available on the organisation's site. In the photos, we discover the authors of the drawings, young boys and girls aged 6 to 14, who have written a short description of their hopes for the future. Little Doa would simply like to enjoy playing outside with friends, while Yosef hopes he never sees people dying in front of him again. These moving testimonies are proof that the conflict with Israel is still very present in the minds of these children, 4 months after the end of the fighting. This initiative uses drawing as a form of therapy, at a time when UNICEF estimates that approximately 400,000 young Palestinians are showing signs of psychological distress linked to the war of summer 2014. The NGO is also trying to combat this dramatic situation by training 12,000 teachers to guide and support the children living in Palestinian territories, as recalled by the site blazepress.com. Infected with the AIDS virus, little Kun Kun is a pariah in his home village of Sichuan in the west of China. Expelled from his school and rejected by other children, the 8-year-old is considered as a ticking bomb by villagers who fear becoming infected themselves. 200 of them recently signed a petition to have him thrown out of the village. Bowing to public pressure, even his grandfather, who has been looking after the little boy since his parents abandoned him, has decided to support this extreme measure. The story is arousing much controversy on Chinese social media. Many net users have expressed sympathy with Kun Kun, chastising the village's behaviour. Web users, such as the author of this post, are urging the authorities to run more information campaigns to combat the discrimination suffered by HIV sufferers in the country's rural communities. According to the World Health Organization, China has nevertheless made progress in combating the disease in recent years, although more effort is needed in terms of prevention and healthcare. There are thought to be around 800,000 people infected with the virus in China, including Kun Kun, who is now being taken care of by an NGO. And faced with the emotion generated by this little boy's story, the Chinese state has also become involved with this high-profile case, undertaking to offer him help quickly. Chinese surgeons taking photos of themselves while operating as their patient lays unconscious on the operating table. Published anonymously last week on the site Sina Weibo, these snaps have been creating controversy on the Chinese web ever since. Many net users criticize the behavior of these doctors, who they accuse of lacking in professionalism. The scandal has prompted the health authorities to punish the surgeons, who took the photos last August as a souvenir prior to the relocation of their operating theatre. Which are the 10 channels generating the most money on YouTube? The question is answered by this infographic, in which the top spots are occupied by video game specialists. Sweden's PewDiePie is roaring ahead with an estimated revenue of $7 million per year. The American duo from the channel Blue Zephos are in second place with earnings of around $6,700,000 per year. These figures are compiled by the YouTube Downloader site, which records that the share site raked in more than $5.5 billion in advertising revenue in 2013. Milk lakes, marshmallow clouds, and sliced bread mountains. American photographers Barbara Tsiure and Lindsay Lockman used products from the agri-food industry to create these surreal landscapes. The series, known as Processed Views, brings together these still lifes which reproduce images of the Great American West in the 19th century, and which are presented by the photography duo as a social commentary on today's consumer society.
Caller 2
As well as pulling off unusually precise trick shots with all sorts of balls, the Dude Perfect group are also very talented pool players, as proved in their latest video. The spectacular images created alongside French pool champion Florian Kohler can be viewed on YouTube.